become so occupied in becoming a better person, in improving every aspect of your life, physically, your health, mentally, your wealth, business, relationships, and get so occupied on just optimizing your life to be the best it can, to where you literally don't have time for distractions. This is one of the biggest things that I kind of put myself into recently, and over the past 4 or 5 years of self improvement, you know, going to the gym, starting a business, traveling the world, and reaching to points where not many people in their life would be able to reach. Right. And one of the biggest things and one of the biggest changes, or one of the most, one of the moments, the biggest moments that I had during my largest times of growth, because it's never a straight line. It's always up and down. There's periods in my life where I'm doing really good, and then I fall back, then I get back up. But you can minimize that. It's not always going to be a straight line, but you can minimize how much you go through the oscillations of life. The first thing is to detach yourself from the outcome. That's the first thing. But that's for a different topic in video. But in this video, I want to talk about being so occupied in improving yourself that you don't have time for distractions. So, right now, in this period, right, there was many things that I wanted to work on, whether that be business, health, and relationships, right? Those are the three main pillars that I preach in this channel all the time. And they all support each other in building out your desired reality, your life, everything, right? So I want to dream physique, I want to make a certain amount of money, I want to have specific relationships and have and maintain these relationships in these ways. And it's like, if you're not doing anything, if you're doing something outside of that, then you're not living to your truest goal or your truest vision that you have for yourself. You're not being true to yourself. And everything else is a distraction. And at first, it's not going to be easy kind of jumping right into doing all these things at once, right? And my initial philosophy, or I wouldn't say philosophy, but my strategy around tackling life was I would put all my attention and focus into business first. And it started with fitness, and then it went into business, and then I lacked on fitness and health, which affected my business. I was putting all my attention on business, and in doing so, that almost caused me to almost like physically burn out. I would feel extremely fatigued throughout the day. I would feel like crap. I didn't want to do the work, even though I had a desire to reach my goal, but it made every day a lot more difficult, and it was a lot more fueled by willpower. And so I started to take a different approach at looking at life, is to fully optimize every pillar as much as possible. And in doing so, you can't burn out. You can't, because you're optimizing your health. That's the biggest thing. That's, if you're unhealthy, you can't think straight. You can't physically move around well. You don't have good sleep. It's going to obviously affect other pillars of your life. So that's the most important thing. And then it would be business and relationships. And in doing so, you're working on your health, your mindset, which also ties into each other. Nothing else is going to fall apart because you have this solid foundation that you've built for yourself around your health. And then it ties into everything else. And then you put your effort into all three pillars throughout the day. Like, for example, my entire schedule is I go to sleep around the same time every day. I wake up around the same time every day. I have the same routine that I follow. And every part of my routine ties into one of those three pillars. It's either health, wealth, or relationships. With health, obviously, I have a sleep schedule. I try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day. Obviously, it fluctuates, and that's fine. But as long as you try to go to bed and wake up at the same time. I take my vitamins. I go to the gym. I take morning walks, right? And it's not one of those like 3 hour morning routines. I literally just wake up. I brush my teeth, like the hygienic stuff first, and then I go on a walk just around the block once or twice. That wakes you up fully. Then I go back, I sit down and get straight to work, right? And I like to fast until towards noon. I wake up around 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. I walk, I get to work, and then I fast until about, and then I fast until about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock ish. But in between that time, and in between that time, I'm now working on wealth. So I'm working on business, right? And during that time, you're completely locked in. You're working on something. You have your attention towards one thing, and that's the business. And after that would be eating. Then you have your attention on your health. You have a diet plan built out. You have everything in place to have a good physique. And then after my meal, I like to just go on a walk around. Trying to, after eating, I've optimized my schedule to be not have fatigue when I get back into work. And then after that, I'll go back straight into deep work. I work on my business. I work on meetings, talking to clients, things like that. And then I'll have another meal, which is my pre-workout meal, right? Just a small meal. Then I'll go to the gym. I've already at this point gotten 4 or 5 hours of deep work done. Now I'm going to the gym, and I like to spend my time at the gym. I genuinely like to enjoy doing these things, right? At first I didn't, but over time you start seeing improvements and everything. Same with business, you start to enjoy it, and that's a part of an identity shift, which I'll make a future video about. Then after that, you're at the gym. I go back, I have my meal, and then I have free time just to talk to my family, talk to friends, go out, hang out. So I covered 3 pillars: health, which is the gym; diet, morning walks, sleep; wealth, deep work, business, meetings; revenue collecting activities; and then relationships, talking to friends, family, hanging out, building good relationships. And I genuinely believe if you have those 3 pillars and you put your focus and attention on those and you optimize your life to take actions on those 3 pillars, there's no room for distractions. Like, I'm so preoccupied thinking about how can I improve my relationships, how can I improve my business, how can I improve my health, that I don't even have enough mental real estate to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to go scroll around on Instagram or watch some bullshit on YouTube. The idea isn't to exclude all of the bad things in your life. It's to replace them with something much healthier that's more aligned to who you want to be and where you want to go in your life. In doing so, you literally, even if you wanted to, you don't have enough time to do everything else. And at first, I won't lie, it's difficult. You have to have willpower and discipline to be able to build a habit on these things. And if you are the type of person that thinks you can do that, try it out. Do it for yourself. Build and optimize your life in such a way that everything you do, everything that you consume is for the betterment of yourself, the people around you, and your future. Anything else outside of that would be a complete waste of time. Obviously, maybe it might not be for everyone, but it's what works with me. And I wanted to share this with you guys so you guys can try it out, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, let me know. But genuinely, this is one of the things that I switched to. And in the past, it would be just a constant battle of like, I need to go on Instagram less. I need to stop, playing games, or I need to stop doing this. And it's not about removing those things. It's about replacing them with something healthier. And over time, physically, you feel better. You start searching for things that are more healthy in accordance to your dopamine levels. You start feeling better. You start feeling more confident, look better. You make more money. Everything just ties in. Like, ever since I've kind of switched to this process of thinking and operating in my life, I've genuinely felt happier, felt more content. I've felt a sense of control and progress in my life, that I'm heading in the right direction, because 99% of the time that I spend daily now is purely on improving. And then over time, you start to enjoy it, and then it becomes a part of your identity. So anything outside of not improving yourself becomes uncomfortable, which I'll talk about that in a later topic. But yeah, that's kind of what I had a realization recently, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Maybe you guys can try it out, see if it works for you. Let me know.